Wait first. Wetin you go do if the man wey give you belle turn out to be your own biological father? No skip this story, because this one pass ordinary heartbreak.
They say what you don't know can't kill you. But in a city of millions, what you don't know might just destroy your entire bloodline. What happens when the man you call your soulmate is the one man on earth you were never supposed to touch? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are not talking about spirits in the forest. We are talking about the dark secrets buried under the concrete of the city. Imagine finding the love of your life. Imagine him giving you everything you ever dreamed of. Imagine looking down at a positive pregnancy test, tears of joy in your eyes. And then, imagine finding out the father of your unborn child is your own biological father. Lock your doors. Turn up your volume. This is the tragic, chilling story of Amaka. Our story unfolds in the heart of Port Harcourt, a city that moves fast, where everyone is chasing success and anonymity. In a city this big, it is incredibly easy to hide your past. Amaka was 23 years old. She was brilliant, beautiful, and fiercely ambitious, studying computer networking while balancing a part-time job at a high-end digital media agency. She was raised by a strict, hard-working single mother named Grace. Grace had sacrificed everything to give Amaka a good life, but she was deeply secretive. Whenever Amaka asked about her father, Grace would simply look away and say, "He died before you were born. Leave the past in the grave." But the past does not stay in the grave. Not when it has unfinished business. Amaka wanted the good life. She was tired of the struggle. And one evening, at an exclusive corporate mixer her agency was hosting, the good life walked right up to her. Enter Richard. Richard was in his early 50s, but he carried himself like a man half his age. He was a wealthy digital media executive, charismatic, smelling of expensive wood, and wearing a watch that cost more than Amaka's entire university tuition. When Richard saw Amaka across the room, he was instantly captivated. He approached her, and their connection was magnetic. He didn't treat her like a young student, he treated her like a queen. The romance moved at a terrifying speed. Richard bought her a car. He moved her into a luxury apartment in GRA. For the first time in her life, Amaka felt truly protected. But Amaka kept Richard a secret from her mother. She knew Grace would never approve of her dating a man 30 years older than her. She told her mother she got a massive promotion at the tech firm to explain her sudden wealth. Richard, too, kept parts of his life hidden. He mentioned he had lived abroad for decades and only recently moved back to Nigeria to expand his empire. He never talked about his early 20s. And then, after 8 months of a whirlwind romance, Amaka missed her period. Amaka was pregnant. When she told Richard, he didn't panic. Instead, he smiled, picked her up, and spun her around. He was overjoyed. He told her he was ready to settle down completely, to give her the world. He wanted to marry her immediately. But a traditional marriage means families must meet. The lies had to stop. Amaka knew she finally had to introduce Richard to her mother, Grace. Amaka called her mother and told her the truth. She was pregnant, she was engaged to a very wealthy man, and she wanted to host a private, luxurious dinner to formally introduce them. Grace was furious at the secrecy, but the love for her daughter forced her to agree. The dinner was set at the most exclusive, dimly lit VIP restaurant in the city. As the night of the dinner approached, a strange, unexplainable anxiety settled over Amaka. She started having nightmares. Our elders say the blood in your veins will sometimes warn you of danger before your eyes can see it. But Amaka ignored the signs. She was blinded by the diamond ring on her finger. The night of the dinner arrived. Richard and Amaka were seated at a private corner table. Richard was holding Amaka's hand, kissing her knuckles, assuring her that her mother would love him. At exactly 8 p.m., the heavy mahogany doors of the VIP lounge opened. Grace walked in. She looked elegant, searching the room for her daughter. Amaka stood up, smiling, waving her mother over. Grace approached the table. Richard, being a gentleman, stood up and turned around to greet his future mother-in-law. And that was the exact moment the world stopped spinning. Grace didn't say hello. She didn't look at the diamond ring. She just stared at Richard's face. Richard looked at Grace, his polite smile freezing. A flicker of recognition flashed in his eyes, followed instantly by a look of sheer horror. Amaka, confused, looked back and forth between them. "Mommy, this is Richard." Grace began to shake violently. Tears streamed down her face as she pointed a trembling finger at the wealthy executive. "His name is not Richard," Grace whispered, her voice cracking with a pain that spanned 2 decades. "His name is Chidi. 24 years ago, he was a broke university student. He got me pregnant, and then he ran away to London in the middle of the night." The air in the room vanished. The puzzle pieces violently slammed together in Amaka's mind. The man who had bought her a car. The man she shared a bed with. The man who was the father of the child growing inside her. Was her own father. The devastation was absolute. It was a psychological nuclear bomb. Richard, or Chidi, stumbled out of the restaurant and collapsed in the parking lot. The guilt of abandoning his pregnant girlfriend 24 years ago had finally caught up to him in the most horrific, unimaginable way possible. The universe had served him a punishment worse than death. Within weeks, the mental break was so severe that Richard lost his grip on reality and had to be admitted to a private psychiatric facility. Amaka's world shattered into a million irreversible pieces. The wealth, the cars, the luxury, none of it mattered. She was left carrying a child born of the ultimate taboo, a constant, agonizing reminder of a secret that was kept for too long. My people, the city is a master of disguise, but time is the ultimate revealer of truth. To the parents watching this, secrets are not protective shields, they are ticking time bombs. Grace thought she was protecting her daughter by burying the identity of her father, but a lie of omission is still a lie. And to the men who think they can outrun their responsibilities, you can change your name, you can build an empire, and you can hide in a crowd of millions. But karma does not need a GPS to find you. The past will always demand its payment, and it usually charges with interest. This is one of the heaviest stories we have ever shared on this channel. I need to hear from you right now. Head down to the comments. Who do you blame the most in this tragedy? Was it Grace for keeping the secret, or Richard for running away 24 years ago? Let's debate it in the comments below. I will be reading every single one. If this modern folktale kept you glued to your screen, do me a favor. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. We tell the deepest, most shocking stories you won't hear anywhere else. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that the truth always comes out. Until next time, stay vigilant, speak the truth, and I will see you in the next story. Bye for now.